Good evening everyone. Today in this video we will fight against the Atmos character of our world around us, as we always do on this channel. And today we will discuss one important issue many people think about. Since ages, I even would say since millennia, people ask themselves a question: who is really ruling the world? Of course, time passes, people are born, people die, rulers come to power, rulers die or are deposited by force, eliminated, whatever, different things happen to them. History teaches us about it. But nowadays the question who is really ruling the world seems to be sophisticated, but let's try answer this question. Some people say that we are ruled by secret societies, by some secret organizations, and here Russian or Western propaganda comes with sort of help, in quotation, to these people, offering simple solutions like Khazars, Khazaria, Masonry, or Skull and Bones, secret societies, and so on. In my opinion, my humble opinion, the reality is a little bit more sophisticated. Of course, secret societies exist, and will exist as long as people exist. And secret societies have their own agendas, have their own goals, which are in most cases not in agreement with our own goals. And secret societies work for their own well-defined interests, which are in most cases not in line with our own interest and with our own good. Of course, they are working for their own benefits. And why are they secret? Because they are using different methods, to achieve their goals than the methods that are officially allowed by law and not punishable. That's why they are secret, because they don't want many people to see what exactly they are doing. That's it. But in this world, the world we have now, I still assume, from this what I see, that we have a bloc of several countries that are serious. Serious countries, I mean the countries that decide about their own fate, their own politics, and their own moves in the geopolitical space. Among these countries, we can for sure indicate few of them, like Russia, China, Iran, Germany, that are currently slipping out more and more out of the American custody. Now they are even illusory member of NATO. Their behavior towards the Ukrainian-Russian clashes clearly shows that now they are only illusory member of NATO, and they are slipping out of the American control, or American custody, one can say like this. As I said, Russia, Germany, Iran, China, and I would also add country ruled by the fatty guy Kim Jong-un, so North Korea, because North Korea ignores all international warnings they get, and they do what they want. Recently, when they released the video from the test of new rocket, Hwasong 17, which was most likely Hwasong 15, but who cares? Japan got a propagandic punch in the nose to show them that they shouldn't tease with the colleague of North Korea, so it means Russia, without any consequences. So it was more a propaganda move, but quite useful. With a fancy movie where the fatty guy was presented in a nice jacket. Actually, I would like to have such jacket, but okay, it's off topic. And together with these secret societies, there are also secret services that work for the interest of the ruling group of the country from which they come from, but not always they are working for the country they come from. They work for their own benefits and interest, like all secret organizations or secret services, very often. There are also big companies. Last 2 years we experienced how big companies influenced, especially but not only, democratic governments that they forced many citizens of many countries to buy and even use the products they don't need, or the products of sometimes questionable quality. But of course, democracy and corporations, so big money, it's actually these are non-separable items, because the democracy is connected with one big bribing, and big corporations have a lot of money, so they are able to bribe with big money. So democratic politicians like it, because democratic politicians by definitions are beggars who are supported by big business, by shark of the business, so nowadays big corporations. So they also have some their own shares in many countries in ruling, so-called ruling. There is also a question who is ruling big corporations. So since 1950s, we have a very interesting but at the same time very dangerous process of separation between the company itself and its owner. Owner just has his or her own shares, gets money from the profits this company produces proportional to the shares this person has, and just they live their life in an incredible luxury. But who is ruling these companies? In most cases, these companies are ruled by so-called managers who have their own terms, 3-4 years, and just what these managers are expected to do. At any cost, they are expected to increase the profits of the company. And after these few years, they finish the job and they want to live for this what they earned. So they will do everything, even things that are not welcome from the, I would say, human and moral perspective, what we are experiencing, just to increase the profits and later just go away. And these managers changed each few years. That's why companies don't care about the future, they care about great profits here and now, and they don't care if they destroy the world we live in few years or not. They don't care about their actions in the broaden and longer perspective. That's why this is so-called option of managers in ruling the big companies. So they are ruling these companies, and this is what we see. That's why the picture of the world we have now, when one observes it, all politics, geopolitics, politics of big corporations, politics of many organizations, societies we know about, societies we don't know about, secret services of many countries, religious organizations. That's why when we look at the picture of the world nowadays, it's easy to have the impression that it's very chaotic, because it is. Because even among these organizations I mentioned, secret or legally working like big corporations, their crews, workers, employees, let's say, of big corporations are also very often members of secret societies, because these societies compete with themselves for the great profits of big corporations. The big corporations gain, especially recently, big corporations producing some specific items that were presented to be very essential, and people were forced to take them even if they didn't need them. So that's why the picture is so messy and so sophisticated, because people from secret societies and secret services are also within the among the employees of big corporations. So, and big corporations are ruled by the managers who have few years only to just maximize the profits. And we have blocks of few countries that are still independent, like I mentioned, Russia, China, more and more Germany, Iran, and North Korea, that is ruled by fatty guy with a fancy jacket, who doesn't care about any warnings from outside. And the rest, especially so-called democratic countries, I will emphasize so-called because it's only a facade of democracy, are ruled by the sharks of big business, and the sharks of big business and their employees are very often closely connected with different secret services or secret societies, which also have their own agenda, but this agenda is power and money. So all it's interconnected, and that's why it's so messy. So I hope that I just clearly showed to you that, in my opinion, none of this secret organization of secret service has absolute upper hand over the other ones which are competing with them for power, especially in democratic countries. That's why sometimes we see the shift of equilibrium, shift of politics for a moment, later coming back to old agenda or creating completely new, because there is still permanent fight and for influences and for riches and for power. All the best, have a nice day, bye.